The Conference of Champions might finally start living up to its name after a great regular season in 2022 that saw half the teams in the PAC win 9 or more games and an off-season explosion that has reshaped the contenders of the conference. Teams top to bottom are making significant upgrades, from recruits to transfers to even coaches. We'll start at rock bottom with Colorado, who has been making the most noise out of any team in the conference, headlined by their hiring of former Jackson State head coach Deion Sanders. Deion certainly ruffled some feathers by making the move, especially after all he did to promote HBCUs. Despite the controversy, Sanders has still managed to make Boulder a primetime location for recruits and transfers, including Coach Prime's son, Shedeur Sanders, and former #1 overall recruit Travis Hunter. For a team that had its worst season in a decade and is widely considered to be the worst team in the FBS, it is good to see that there is finally some buzz building up in Boulder. Speaking of a team that used to be in Colorado's shoes, Oregon State has now ascended to the top, capping off a 10-win season with a dominant 30-3 win in the Las Vegas Bowl over the SEC Florida Gators. The Beavs kept the ball rolling into the offseason, where they picked up 2 big-time quarterbacks that will set them up nicely for the future in 4-star Aiden Childs and the biggest name in this year's transfer portal, former Clemson QB DJ Uiagalelei. DJU will look to join the club of transfer quarterbacks who have formed a new narrative for themselves in the Pac-12, such as Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix Jr., all of whom will be returning to their respective schools next season. Williams may have come up short in leading USC to victory in the Pac-12 championship and a college football playoff appearance, yet he did not walk away from 2022 empty-handed, as he brought home the Heisman Trophy from across the country in New York City. He will look to be only the second player ever to repeat as winner of the Heisman, with a new arsenal of weapons at his disposal, with incoming 5-star receivers Zachariah Branch and Makai Lemon. However, he will be heavily challenged for his hardware within his own conference, starting with Bo Nix, who, similar to many stellar Oregon athletes in the past, such as Justin Herbert, Sabrina Ionescu, and Peyton Pritchard, will choose to forego the draft and instead return to the Ducks for his final year of eligibility. However, Nix will try to do what Herbert, among others, couldn't do, and lead the Ducks to their first college football playoff berth since they made the very first one back in 2014, led by, ironically, Oregon's one and only Heisman Trophy winner, Marcus Mariota. He will have the advantage over Williams in terms of assets on both sides of the ball, as Dan Lanning put Oregon on the map in terms of recruiting, sitting just outside the top 10 nationally and at the top of the Pac-12, acquiring notable names like DJ Uiagalelei's brother, Mateo, and flipping 4-star corner Dalen Austin from LSU and 4-star running back Jaden Lamar from Notre Dame. But don't sleep on the Ducks' rivals from up north. The Washington Huskies, led by Michael Penix Jr., only lost 2 games all season in 2022. Penix was second in the nation in total passing yards and had 29 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. Had they not blown a game in the middle of the season to Arizona State, they could have been in the conference championship and possibly the college football playoff. And really, that was the case for many Pac-12 teams this year, including the conference champion Utah Utes. A couple of more scores or stops could have changed the trajectory of a team's season. But that is just how the Pac-12 has been for the past decade. The conference has gained so much depth that no team is safe from being upset more than once in a season. The Pac-12 isn't like the SEC in the sense that it doesn't have teams like Alabama or Georgia running the table every year. Every team stands a chance, with no matchup being meaningless, making for exciting football each and every weekend. With playoff expansion on the horizon in the coming years, the Pac-12 will certainly be in the mix of having teams inside the top 12, especially without the threat of USC or UCLA, who will be departing for the Big Ten at that same point in time. That makes the stakes even higher this upcoming year, as these teams square off in the final season of the original Pac-12 conference, serving as an opportunity to prove that the Pac is here to stay, regardless of what the new number behind the dash will be.